All right, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a lot of different shapes, so just kind of fast forward to the part that you need. But the first thing is to create a polygon tool. I'm going to use this. Now you'll notice there's only 6 sides. We need 7 sides. I can just type in 7S, hit enter, and there's 7 sides all of a sudden, and then I can just pull it up to that height. This one doesn't need to be exact. All right, here is just a shape like this, and so for that, I'm going to measure these sides. I actually know the dimensions already, so I could actually reference this point, come out a little bit. I could type in 2 feet, and then I need to go up by 1 foot, and over by 2 feet again, down a foot, and then over by 2 feet again, and I'm just typing those in as I go. All right, and I can reference these points since I already did it once, and that's 2 feet. And again, I can reference this point, 2 feet, and then it's 1 foot. And then I got to work from the other side, so I'm going to go up to 2 feet. I can go in, I can reference that point, and then go up to 1 foot. And again, I'm just typing those in down here. All right, and then for this part, I actually need to draw this line first to find the midpoint, and then I can just connect the corners. And I don't need this line anymore, so I can just delete those. Take that surface there, pull it up to this height, and I'm good. So it's about the exact same thing. All right, for this one, you don't need to draw the hand just like it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually draw first a square, and I could measure this one out, for example. I believe it's 6 feet by 4 feet. So again, I can reference that point, but 6 feet by 4 feet, hit enter, there we go. And I'm going to use a circle tool here, and I'm going to just click in the center, then go to the edge there, and I'm going to do it again. And I think this one's only 2 feet, I'm not really sure, something like that, there we go. And you'll notice this one doesn't have the other line on there, so I'm going to click on that surface and delete it. And then I can pull these things up there. But before I do, I'm going to use this freehand and actually just kind of draw out a shape. I know it kind of looks like a hand, but yours can look like anything. It doesn't really matter. Go back to that point, and then I can just pull everything up to the height that these are. All right. See, all right, there we go. So, oops, this one's not quite the same height. There we are. There. So that's pretty much exactly like it. All right. This tool is a little tougher to use, or it's a little confusing to some at least. I am going to draw, looks like this is 4 feet. I'm going to go 4 feet by 4 feet. All right, and then I'm going to pull it up to the same height, and it's a square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the surface, and then this is the rotation tool right here, or it's right there. I'm going to click on the surface once, and it lets me spin it around, but it doesn't actually do anything. I need to click again for a reference point. And then as I twist it, you'll actually notice down here the angle changes, and then I can just type in 90 because I want it to turn 90 degrees. Okay? All right. Now this one is the offset tool that I want you to learn to do. Again, this one starts at 8 feet, so what I can do is I can just type in 8 foot, and then I just use the offset more than once. So I'm going to grab this surface, use the offset tool, click once, and then I can just go in by 1 foot each time. 1 foot. Oops. And then I could grab the other surface and go even farther. Or I could just type in 2 feet. Oh, that's weird. It goes back when I do that. That's interesting. But basically, just use the offset tool. It's faster than trying to draw the lines separately, okay? And again, I can grab this surface and then offset it one more time. And I can go by 1 foot again. All right, and then I just pull up to those heights. So, oh, looks like my offset tool doesn't work there again. That's weird. Actually, I click and drag. There we go, and then I can just pull it up to those heights. So, for example, this one goes to there. The surface gets pulled down, and you can see how that works then. So I just need to pull this one down to that level. This one needs to get pulled up to this level, and then it looks like I have to do the offset tool one more time by 1 foot, and pull that one up as well. And there we go, same thing. All right. All right, cool. All right, so this one right here is the circle tool. I'm going to click once, and I'm going to go up by like 3 feet. I'm going to pull up to the same height. Okay, and then I'm going to use the scale tool. So I'm going to click on that surface, grab the scale tool, and I'm going to hold down Shift as I resize it. Not Shift, I'm sorry, Control, and then it'll resize to proportion. I'll just go a little bit larger. It doesn't need to be exact, and then I can just go underneath, grab that surface there, all right, and use my push-pull all the way to the top. So I want to make sure I reference the top, otherwise it just keeps going. But then when I look at it here, it looks pretty much like it. Okay. All right, this one looks complicated, but it's actually not that bad at all. So I'm just going to estimate the size. I'm not going to worry about measuring anymore. I go to the midpoint, go to there, and this part's really easy and obvious. Just go like that. All right, and the next part, what I have to do is when you draw something, I'm going to use my freehand tool here. And if I say, okay, now I need to draw something upward like this. Okay, but the problem with that is if I scroll down, it's actually flat on the surface. What you need to do is, go down like this so the horizon is just below your object. So when you're drawing, SketchUp knows that you're actually trying to draw straight up. So I'm going to grab the edge right here. I'm going to draw something, okay, and make sure I finish about that same point, okay? So now if I look at it, yep, see it's up and down. So then I can just draw a little square on it and a little circle. And then if I use my selection tool, I can just click the box, not the lines, but the box and the circle, delete those, and then I can just use my follow me tool. I'll grab this and just follow it around part way like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, these get a little more complicated. They take a little bit longer to do, but not too bad. These are 4 by 4 inches. All right, so it's actually easiest just to create one, and then you can do it over and over. So let's just get the bottom railing first. So I'm going to reference this point here, and I'm going to go 4 inches by 4 inches. All right, and oh, I'm sorry. Actually, how long is this? That's what we should probably find out, huh? Right there, it's 8 feet. Okay, so I'm going to reference that point there, and now the bottom point. So I can say 4 inches by 8 foot. Enter. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to pull up to the same height as this one. Okay. And then what I can do is, see this one, these are actually components. So I'm just going to triple click on it and do make component. Actually, I think I just did make group. Make component. And I want to make sure this is checked right here, but I could call this, bottom or top, or we could just call it the bar. All right, create. And oops, actually used that same name just before, so let's do that again. Make component, and we'll call this bar 1. All right, create. And I know I need more than one, so I'm going to go up some. So I'm going to measure the bottom of this one, the top bottom of this one. Looks like it's 4 foot 4 inches. So let's do that. I'm going to start raising it. I'm going to tap control, so I have another one. And I'm going to go up 4 feet 4 inches. Hit enter. It goes to the right height. There we go. So that gives me my side rail there. And I know this is actually 4 inches by 4 inches as well. So I'm going to just draw that down here. I'll probably have to zoom a little bit more. Click once, click twice, and I can go to 4 inches. Now I can kind of estimate, but it's not that accurate. So another way to do that is I can just start drawing like this, and I can just type in 4 inches and then 4 inches. All right, and then I'm going to pull that up. And I know it's going to be the height of everything else there. So actually it looks like I go 4 inches higher than that if I remember right. So I'm just going to type in, I can go to this height first. I can reference the edge here. All right, and then I could pull out 4 more inches. So I just type in inches, and then it goes up 4 more inches above it. Okay, great. So, and then we're really getting the side railing in. That's a little more important. So let's look at this thing right here. So what it is, it's a circle and a line, and you have this bow here. So I'm going to say go ahead and just use this. That's all right. So if I were to take this here, I could just delete that line right there. You can see how I did it, though. It's just a circle and a line, then an arc. And then I just delete these surfaces here, just because you don't need them. And I'm going to then use the Follow Me tool. And I'm going to just drag it up along the edge here, all the way to the top. There we go. And there. So I'm going to triple click that, and I'm going to make it a component. And I could call it spindle or whatever. I'll just put spin in there for now and hit create. All right, great. And then I just need to place it in the right spot. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually I'm going to select all of this right here, and I'm going to rotate it. So I'm going to use the rotation tool. I'm going to click once, click again, and go 90 degrees again. That way I have this all set up so it's in line like the other one. Okay. And I can actually click the corner here. That's always the best way to do it. Click the corner and make sure it's in line with it. And with this, I believe what I did on this one or you can do it for yourself, is I grabbed a starting point, and let's look at this one right here. Looks like let's triple click it so I know. I'm going to use my tape measure here, and I'm going to go in there 2 inches. Okay, so it looks like I started and finished with 2 inches on each of these. So what I'm going to do here then is the same thing. So I'm going to go in, grab the midpoint there, 2 inches. All right, and then I can go to the end and do the same thing. Make sure I'm grabbing the center. So you got to sometimes zoom in 2 inches. All right, there we go. And so now what I can do is I'm going to grab this one over here that I already created. And so I'm going to grab the edge here. I'm going to get close, then I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. All right, so I'm going to angle it in a way that I can see this edge of it. So when I click on it and I want to grab it, I can make sure that I grab this edge right here and I can line it up there. Okay? All right, cool. And then to get the rest of them in here, it's actually really simple. I'm going to grab this midpoint right here. I just need to click on it once first, and I'm going to grab the midpoint. Okay. And as I go over there, I'm going to tap control so it makes another one. I'm going to get all the way to this point right here. And then after I click it, I want to hit divide 7. Okay. And I hit enter, and it actually puts in all the rest for me. Okay. Because it basically divides it in 7 sections and then adds them. Okay. And if you missed that, just look on that tutorial. But then I can take all these objects here, and what I should do is I'm going to triple click this and make this component 2. I'm just going to call that bar 2 and hit create. But what I can do is I can grab all of this, and I'm going to deselect this bar right here. So I'm going to hold down shift, click on it once so it's gone, and then copy and paste it. So I have another one. And then I just need to rotate this one around. So I'm going to click once, click again, and rotate it 90 degrees. All right. And then I just need to join it up. So I'm going to use the move tool. I'm going to grab the bottom corner there and line it up with this bottom corner. Great. So there. That looks pretty darn good. And then you see that I got this little top hat thing or whatever. And that's pretty darn simple to do. So just so you know how to do that, I'm going to draw a square up. I'm just going to say 2 inches. All right. And I could do the same thing all the way around. Oops. Not what I wanted. Just going to draw up 2 inches. I can reference that point even. Alright. And that surface should have filled in, but it doesn't look like it wants to. I can also draw a square on top of it. I'm going to pull that across to give my distance I want. And then, let's look back at the other one, see how we got it here. Oop. Okay. Looks like it's curved in. So basically what you need to do then, sorry about that. What you can do is, I'm going to draw these out a little bit instead. So I'm going to pull this edge out, and I'm just going to estimate now. I'm going to say it's another 2 inches out. And what I can do is I can draw an arc. I'm going to go from this edge to this edge, just kind of bow it out a little bit on the surface. Okay. And then I can just push this out so I don't even see it anymore. And I'm going to draw a little line right here. All right. And I'm going to push this flat. I think that'll work. Well, I don't want it to disappear though, so let's try this. Let's see if this works. I'm going to look on the top here. Undo that. I'm going to look at the top here, and I'm going to draw a line. All right. And so I can click on this top surface and then grab the follow me tool and then click on that, and it should go all the way around. Kind of screwed it up a little bit, but I believe I can just draw a line right here and it should fill it in. All right. I could also push pull that one out, or maybe a better way to do this would be to click on these lines and delete them, just so I have the surface flat. Basically though, you know what would be better? If you just start with just this thing sticking out, okay? And then if I just click the surface and then use the follow me tool, click on that, and it goes all the way around, okay? And you can see that. And then I just draw another square on top of it, and you can figure that out, I'm sure. Okay, now on to these. You know what? I think I'm going to make a separate video just for these. You can try them out yourself. But I hope you learned something. Thanks for watching.